He was loved by all here at the Village of Bellwood, and we are with heavy heart today. This has been one of the toughest days for the Village of Bellwood in many years. Officer Davis actually grew up in Bellwood, so he was a product of Bellwood. He worked here for 20 years and was also a military veteran. So we really appreciate everybody's condolences that we've got throughout the entire day. We are here to work with our colleagues in law enforcement in the Michigan area and anything that they need from the Village of Bellwood. We are also supplying counseling and help to any of our officers or anyone from the community that needs that. Because as I stated before, James Davis touched everybody's lives in the Village of Bellwood in a positive manner. The people he worked with, along with the residents of the Village of Bellwood.
The pronunciation of his wife's name, is it?
Diva?
It is Diva?
Diva, D-I-V-A.
Can you say anything about Diva?
I did not. I've met Diva on several occasions at different events with James Davis. From what I've known of her, she's been a wonderful woman, but I did not personally grow up or know her from the community.
And were the couple in Michigan to pick up their son for spring break?
That's what we believe. I think that James had mentioned to some people that he was going up there possibly to pick up his son. We know he's going to take a visit to his son at Central Michigan University.
Are you stunned? Can you comment at all by the thought, the prospects, the lead scenario here that he was murdered by his own son?
What I will say is we're shocked that James Davis has been in a tragic incident of this nature. I can't comment that if his son did it or didn't do it, so I can't comment on that. I'm just stunned that James Davis is not here with us anymore and that someone tragically did take his life.
Have you received any indication that the son might be heading home to this area?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Is the police chief able to speak as well?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
All right. So I will introduce to you Chief Jimenez Allen from the Bellwood Police Department.
Good evening. My name is Chief Jimenez Allen. I work for the Bellwood Police Department. It's really tragic that we have lost James. James was a close personal friend of mine, as well as many other officers on the police department. He will truly be missed. We are in close communication with the police department down at Central Michigan University, as well as Michigan State Police, and we're doing whatever we can to assist them with this investigation.
Chief, can you give us more of a sense?
Counseling. So we'll get through this. We'll get through this.
And with the son still being on the loose, what is your hope in terms of the conclusion of this?
Oh, I'm going to have to defer that to the Central Michigan Police Department. We're in close communication with them, but they haven't given us any details on where the son might be at this point.
And Mr. Mayor, you had mentioned that you'd grown up or knew him for basically your entire life. So can you talk about, how much he means, or how much his village knows him, will miss him?
Yes, I will. Yes, well, I will stay. I've been living in Bellwood for 50 years, and James is a little bit younger than me. I think he's about 6 years younger than me. So I remember James as a kid in Bellwood. We actually played together, hung out together. He's probably exactly the same age as my brother, and my brother and him were very close friends. He was a great young man for the community of Bellwood. He was like a pillar in the community. His family's from the community. I know he attended, I believe, St. Paul Lutheran School in Melrose Park and Walter Lutheran High School in Melrose Park. So he was a true friend of mine, my family, and he is sorely going to be missed.
Have you served in Iraq?
I believe James served a few tours of duties, and one of them could be Iraq. James was a career military man. He loved the military, and that's one of the reasons why he chose to work for the village of Bellwood part-time, because he was in the military on a full-time basis, and he really wanted to do more service, and he wanted to do service for the village of Bellwood, and that's why he came on with us 20 years ago as a part-time officer. And I think he even retired from the military and would not leave the village of Bellwood because he loved the village of Bellwood.
So he retired from?
I believe he retired from the military service,
Okay.
because now I think he does work at
From the
behind.
National Guard?
Yes, yes, and he did some stints of overseas duty and full-time National Guard duty as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I will say this last thing is you mentioned James has been here 20 years, and when we heard of the untimely death that happened in Central Michigan, our officers really took it to heart. They really took it. There was some crying, there was a lot of hugging, but our officers, they stood strong, and they're standing strong today for the James Davis family and his friends. So we will be in communication with his family and his friends, and this is James Davis's family as well. So we will be reaching out and keeping in communication with his immediate family, and there's nothing that the village of Bellwood and the police department won't be doing for James Davis's family in the future.
Do you know if they have other kids?
I believe Mr. Davis, or Officer Davis, had 3 kids. That's my belief. An older son and a younger daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So you had some pictures?
Yes. I have 10 copies here.
Okay.
You guys,
Okay.
each
Okay,
one.
thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anybody else want one?
You got one? I got one. I'm turning it around, put it up there. Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. I had some tape. Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
If there's any other questions, Chief Allen and myself will be on